So we are coming towards the end of the first week of the Flight of the Osprey project, and we've made it as far as North Wales. Is considered North Wales? At Glaslyn. Becky, can you give us a summary of why Glaslyn is important in the Osprey story?
Well, the story of Ospreys in Wales really began here in Glaslyn back in 2004. A male osprey, a Rutland translocated bird, was found nesting here, and he attracted a female, which happens to be the same female that we have now. We call her Mrs. G, Mrs. Glaslyn, and Mrs. G at least has bred here successfully every year up until this year. Sadly, they lost chicks last year because our male sustained an injury to his wing, but the amount of chicks that she's raised, grand chicks, she's even a great grandmother now to ospreys in the UK, so she's contributed a huge amount to ospreys, not only in Wales but in the UK. But to have such a long breeding female and the most successful nest in Wales, right here in the Glaslyn Valley as well, is really important and very special to us.
Including the Yorkshire nest that we just went to. There's a connection with Glaslyn with that as well, isn't there?
Yes. Well, the translocation project in Rutland, where they translocated young chicks from nests in Scotland down to Rutland, one of the males who fledged there found his way over to Wales, and that was the start really of the Ospreys in Wales. So we're really lucky that translocation project happened.
Yeah.
Because who knows what the story would be in Wales otherwise.
And the one of the daughters of Mrs. G is now breeding at the Yorkshire site, who has sort of started that dynasty.
Yes, she has chicks nesting in England as well as Scotland. So yeah, her ospreys have gone everywhere. Okay.
Great. And for a site like this, how important are volunteers, people from all walks of life, stepping up and offering their time and expertise?
Invaluable, really. A project like Glaslyn wouldn't exist without volunteers. We still have some of the same volunteers who were originally here in 2004, who found the nest and who monitored the nest day and night, making sure that nest was safe. They are still volunteering with us, and we have a protection site, which is monitored 24/7 when there are eggs in the nest, and we have our visitor centre, and having volunteers here to greet people, to share the story of the Glaslyn Ospreys and Ospreys, and spreading the word is probably the most important thing about our project.
And there are volunteers, obviously, who do some quite extraordinary things, including jumping in the water for them. And one of those is Gail. Gail, can you explain why you got in the water for Ospreys?
Well, basically, I knew a lot of money needed to be raised for the hide, like 75,000, half of which was to be raised by charity. And I just suddenly hatched an idea that I was going to do a sponsored swim, and I just immediately thought of the